Welcome back. It is Sunday, August 13th in the MLB. Our five favorite picks are on the way. It's Austin joined by Logan, and today we should be joined by a special guest. But let's talk about yesterday, a 5-in-1 day, a massive day. Now, I said we should be joined by a special guest, and the Brooms, just peeking over here. But we did go 5-0 in our video. We did add a play, which ended up being our only loser of the day. Yankees, Marlins, NRFI ended up getting ruined by a Luis Arraez homer, which was his fourth homer on the year. Just comical. But the other five picks dominated. A lot of people probably didn't tail the NRFI because they didn't see it as an added play. So a lot of you guys were sending your parlay tickets to us on Twitter. Electric to see you guys sweep and get a 5-0, 4-0 for some of the picks that some people took. An electric day. Trea Turner, the legend, continues to grow 2+ bases. Green and Tucker both get their bases. Then I had a surgical Brewers and White Sox under 4.5 in the first five, a big one run. And then our other NRFI, which was in the video, Cubs, Blue Jays, we got that one done. So like I said, a 5-in-1 day, quietly on an 11-2 run. Let's continue that momentum going into today. Before I dive into our favorite picks, I do want to shout out Bet365. They're one of our links through affiliate links through our friends at Dimers, and you can get $200 in bonus bets on the MLB today. We always talk about Bet365 because that's normally where we do our hit parlays, because Bet365 normally has the best odds for hit parlays by a long shot. For example, the hit parlay I have today for you, plus 100 on Bet365, but minus 135 on FanDuel. So that gives you kind of a key into how big these difference in odds are. If you want to sign up, top link in description, deposit $10, make a $1 money line bet on any MLB team today. Even if they lose, you'll get that money back and you get that bonus. So take advantage. New Jersey, Ohio, Virginia, Colorado, and Iowa. If you're in one of those states, sign up for Bet365, one of the best odds out there for a hit parlay. But Logan, we got five picks. I have no idea what your first one's going to be. Where are you going today?
Trea Turner, over 1.5 bases, plus 125 odds on DraftKings. Yeah, it's Groundhog Day. Rinse and repeat, man. I wake up, just barely edit these notes a little bit, move on with the next pick, right? I'm running out of words for how great Trea Turner's been for us, for the community. I mean, it's just kind of crazy to be riding along on a player's hot streak with him, right? We haven't jumped off, and it's been really paying dividends. And we're getting plus 125 again today, probably because he'll be in the sixth spot. That's, I think, why they're giving us this value. Yesterday, they gave us the plus 125. I was like, ooh, kind of scary against Pablo Lopez. Nah, Trea went 3 for 3. He didn't care. So, I mean, one of those things where he's probably going to be in the sixth spot. I don't know why. Rob Thompson, make it make sense. Why do you want Trea, your best hitter, down in the sixth spot? I don't know. But Trea has recorded 2+ bases in 8 straight games and 8 straight games at home. So, I mean, he's just been absolutely ridiculous. No words, really. Since the standing ovation game, I always love bringing this up, that Austin and I went to, he has a hit in every single game. So today he faces Sonny Gray in the Twins. Against Gray, Trea is 8 for 19, hitting .421 with 6 singles, a double, and a triple. I do like those splits versus Sonny Gray because we know Trea Turner, obviously the speedster that he is, a bunch of singles. That's what he can get it done through singles. It doesn't really matter. Trea's hitting .484 in his last 8 games with 27 total bases in those 8 games. That's over a 3 base per game average. So again, really when it comes down to it, I think Trea should be in really good shape to get it done versus Sonny Gray today. Yesterday, as I mentioned, Trea went 3 for 3, and his second hit was beating out the infield single. If you guys saw it and watched it live like I did, I was like, oh, come on, get down the line, Trea. And he's so quick that he can beat out those infield singles because that's probably a routine ground out for a lot of hitters. The most impressive thing, though, about this streak to me for Trea is how he's hitting to all parts of the field. Last night on the telecast, they showed his spray chart. It's all over the field, and that makes it really tough for defenses to defend because it's not like they can shift the infield at any point. They can't, have the outfielders creep up or anything. They're gonna be guessing where Trea's gonna hit it, and that's how he gets those extra base hits because the outfielders can be slightly misplaced. And I'm not hopping off the train until I see signs of slowing down. And once again, this is one of those matchups. I thought yesterday was going to be it for him. No, he went out and still got it done versus Pablo Lopez. Against Sonny Gray, I think he should stand a really good chance of cashing as long as he doesn't get walked, right? That's kind of the thing that could slow down this bet. But I do love Trea Turner again for total bases. But Austin, what you got for us?
Hey, look, Trea's scorching that. We can't go away from him. I love the Trea Turner pick. But for my pick, I'm actually going to go to a hit parlay, and it features a guy that cashed us for 2 bases yesterday. Today, we only need 1 from him. And it's going to be Riley Green of the Tigers, an earlier start around 12:05, and Ha-Seong Kim of the Padres. I believe he starts around 4 p.m. Eastern. Each to record a hit and plus 100 on Bet365. As I said, this is plus 100 on Bet365, which is why I want to promote it there. Minus 135 or so on FanDuel. That's a big difference there. It's minus 106 on DraftKings, though. So if you want to take it on DraftKings, won't call you crazy there. I just would not play this for -135 unless that's your only book and you don't feel like getting another one. But like I said, if you want to sign up for Bet365, details down below. Well, let's talk about Riley Green. Came through yesterday, 2 singles will do the trick. We needed 2 bases and he got it done. And Green batting .304 on the season, has a hit in 6 straight games. In general, 9 straight on the road. On the road, given this is a guy batting in the 2 spot for the Tigers, he's going to get his plate appearances. We know he's going to probably get 4 unless they get no hit and they don't even get only 1 base runner. And then number 2, I mean, he's just on the road against this Cutter Crawford, who's going to pitch for the Red Sox. Crawford's not going to go far in this game. And then you're going to have that bullpen from the Red Sox, which I don't trust either. So I like Green to get it done. But let's talk about his matchup against Crawford first. Crawford throws 42% four-seam fastball and naturally 32% cutter. There's a reason he's named Cutter Crawford. I mean, come on. But he also mixes in a knuckle curve and a splitter sometimes. But most of the 2 pitches are going to be that four-seam and a cutter. And you look at Green, 291 expected batting average versus the 4-seam and a 398 expected batting average versus the cutter. So I actually almost consider doing Green 2+ bases, but Cutter Crawford does have the tendency to walk lefties a little bit more than righties. But at the end of the day, batting in that 2 spot, I think Green has his chances to extend his hit streak, get us at least 1 hit. Going to bat enough times, percentage play. I think you get that done. Now, Ha-Seong Kim is the other side because hopefully Green gets done early in the day, and then we need Kim to come through later on in the day. And Kim's been great this season. Batting 286 on the year, has one of the highest WARs in baseball, and you wouldn't expect it. Now, he was on a 16-game hitting streak prior to yesterday, and if you had him in your hit parlays, yeah, he nuked you because he went 0 for 4. But still, I think he's going to bounce back here today. Over the last 30 days, he's been batting 363 in that leadoff spot for the Padres, and like this is a guy that's just getting on base like it's going out of style. I mean, he's batting 319 in leadoff spot, and I just think he's going to bounce back after an 0 for 4 day. I mean, he's facing Brandon Pfaadt, who's projected to start for the D-backs. He has been better as of late since returning back from AAA, but still, this is a guy that's going to throw 3 pitches and 3 pitches only. 40% sweeper, 40% four-seam, 20% sinker. So you look at those pitches, you look at Kim, he's batting 333, 274, and 293 versus those pitches respectively. Look, same thing as Riley Green. He's on the road. He's going to be batting right at the top of this lineup. Green's 2. Kim's going to be number 1 in his lineup. I just don't think he's going back-to-back games without a hit. It's a percentage play. The last time he went back-to-back without a hit, you have to go all the way back to June 14th, nearly 2 months ago when he didn't get a hit in back-to-back games. I like Riley Green. I like Ha-Seong Kim to both get a hit. Plus 100 on Bet365. I don't mind either of their bases, but sometimes Kim is not really a big, a double kind of guy. And that's why he's batting leadoff. They say, hey, go get on base. Let Fernando Tatis, Juan Soto, Manny Machado right behind you, rake you in. Whereas a guy like Green, if I had to bet him for 2+ bases, I'd probably prefer him over a guy like Kim if you're only looking for 1 for 2 bases. But we need 1 hit. Go get it done, fellas. But Logan, you got another base prop. Where are you going today?
Yeah, I've got another plus value base prop, and I'm taking Vladimir Guerrero Jr. of the Blue Jays over 1.5 total bases, plus 100 odds on DraftKings. I do like the fact that we are getting plus value on this one because I like Vladdy's matchup versus Jameson Taillon and the Cubs today. Guerrero Jr. is under this total baseline in 2 straight games after going over it in 4 straight games. So he's kind of cooled down a little bit. But I think this is one of those spots where he heats up a little bit. Against Taillon, Guerrero Jr., 7 for 23, hitting .304 with 3 singles, 3 doubles, and a home run in there. I do like the fact that, more than half those hits against Taillon were extra bases. And if you look at Taillon's top 4 pitches, 27% sweeper, 27% four-seamer, 22% sinker, 21% cutter. Vladimir Guerrero's expected batting average versus those pitches, 309, 300, 329, and 356 respectively. So, I mean, that's a lot of 300 type averages in there. And the question is, can any of those hits be for extra bases today? I definitely think so. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. hitting 265 in his last 8 games with 15 total bases during that span. That's about a 2 per game average, for total bases. And I think once again, he gets it done today. As a power hitter, we do need a double into the gap or a home run. That's kind of what Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is known for, right? The home runs. Everyone, he kind of been down on the homers today, but if you wanted to sprinkle it, I wouldn't call you crazy. I mean, Kyle Tucker got a homer for me in my second base prop yesterday. So once again, maybe it's just one of those matchups that you say, I'll take a shot on the home run. I'll sprinkle on it. If it comes down to 2 singles, I'll take it as well. He's not a speedster like Trea Turner at all. But I definitely think he can hit a double in the gap or off the wall. And I do think once Taillon comes out, he still should be able to get a hit or 2 against this Cubs bullpen. Cubs are 11th in bullpen ERA. But, the fact that Guerrero Jr. does bat in the 3 spot, and I know he'll be batting in the 3 spot, they're not going to move him down to the 6 spot like Trea Turner. I think it's one of those things. He'll get maximum plate appearances, and I think the Blue Jays are sneaky competitive today. Everyone and their mother will probably be on the Cubs. I don't know. I don't care who wins that game, but I definitely think Vladdy is a good bet to make, so I'll go ahead and take him over 1.5 total bases. But Austin, what else you got for us?
Yes, I'm going to my natural game pick of the day, which we've been on a pretty good run here today. And this one's going to be a same game parlay. I'll give a couple pivots. It's mostly going to be relying on one game pick with, a pick in there that I kind of like as like a juice reducer, if you will. But let's talk about it because we're going to the Giants game. And I know you might want me to go back to that White Sox Brewers game, which is where we've been the last 2 days cashing out. But I don't like trusting Dylan Cease starts. You never know. He's either giving up one earned run or like 7. So I'll avoid it and go to the Giants Rangers game where I'm taking the same game parlay. Logan Webb, the Giants starter, 3+ strikeouts in the full game under 8.5 runs, which is -115 on DraftKings. Now, the regular over-under would be my pivot. If you can't do a same-game parlay, just take the regular over-under at 8. However, I could see a final score that's like 5-3 kind of type thing, and I could see that pushing, which is why I'm throwing in Logan Webb, 3+ strikeouts. And realistically, if Logan Webb doesn't get 3 Ks, probably a good chance this game's scoring over, and the Rangers are scoring a lot of runs. And look, I like the full game. If you had this parlay, I think it's like -125 on FanDuel. But let's talk about why I like the full game under. But first, before I do that, I want to talk about Logan Webb is going to start for the Giants, and he has 3+ strikeouts in 23 of 24 starts, including 4+ in all 11 home starts. So look, as a juice reducing leg, I will take my chances with him being able to strike out 3 Rangers. Now, yeah, the Rangers are a good offense. I had about a 22% strikeout rate to right-handed pitchers over the last 2 weeks. So I think you can easily go out there and get it done. You saw Alex Wood and Alex Cobb go out there and get 3 Ks themselves, and those guys stink. So I certainly think Logan Webb can get it done. Also at home, Webb's been really good. As I said, 4+ strikeouts in 11 straight home starts this season. He has a 2.23 ERA and a 0.98 WHIP at home, allowing just a 226 batting average. I mean, this is a must-win game for the Giants. They're looking to avoid getting swept by the Rangers. And I just think I was going to bet for a Giants money line, but I'm not laying -140 on that. I just don't like betting juice, things like that. So at the end of the day, this is also a Rangers team that coming up a 9-run game, so some regression's probably coming their way. It's also a Rangers team on the 6th and final game of their West Coast road trip where they played the Athletics and then the Giants. They're going back home tonight to play tomorrow. I believe they get the Astros or Angels. I forget which one's coming into town for them. So will the Bats already be on the plane? I certainly hope so. We've seen that time and time again. The last game of a road trip, sometimes you'll see a team just kind of mail it in with a trash lineup that they trot out there, or they just don't have it all in them, swinging at early pitches. And hopefully they don't necessarily swing at every first pitch so we can get some strikeouts in here. But I think Webb can get us 3 Ks and pitch a decent game. Now on the other side, hopefully Webb does his job. If he can limit the Rangers to 0 runs, I would love that. But on the other side will be Dane Dunning pitching for the Rangers. He's been pretty good for him this year. 3.21 ERA and a 1.15 WHIP. Dunning allowing a 210 batting average to right-handed batters. He's a little bit higher versus lefties. But I bring up that stat because, in my opinion, the most feared bats in this Giants rotation is going to be right-handed batters. You got guys like J.D. Davis, Estrada, and you got Wilmer Flores, who's been crushed in the baseball recently. And when they have big scoring days, normally I feel like it's those guys, but those guys are all right-handed batters. So if Dunning can control those, I like our chances here because then you're asking the Giants, who's going to be probably stacking some lefties against Dunning, but you got guys like Yastrzemski, Conforto, Peterson, Crawford. All these guys are going to be in there with like 220 batting averages. So I'll take my chance with Dunning being able to get through those guys and get through the righties, which he's been able to handle all year long. And this is still the Giants offense that's been struggling. Last 2 weeks, 14 days, Giants second worst batting average, OPS and WRC plus, an offensive metric versus right-handed pitching. So they're just not seeing righties all too well. I'll take my chances fading the Giants. If the Giants are the ones that go out there and, hit the over by themselves, whatever, I'll live with it. But at the end of the day, after Dunning comes out, the bullpens have been pretty good. The Rangers bullpen, top ERA in the MLB with a 2.43 over the last 10 games. The Giants with the 10th best bullpen ERA with a 3.98 over the last 10 games. So I really like the full game under here at 8. But like I said, I could see a reasonable, thing where this pushes at 5-3, which is why I'm going up to 8.5 with a little bit, and then throwing in that Webb 3+ Ks. If Webb doesn't get 3+ Ks and the game goes full game under 8, I'll be sad, but I think this is a better way to take it than taking the regular under at 8, just because, there's a lot of games that can't end on 8. I mean, we see 5-3, 6-2 type final scores all the time. So give me the under 8.5 in that same game parlay plus Logan Webb to get 3+ strikeouts. I like it as a same game parlay. -115, I'll take my chances there to keep this game pick streak going. But Logan, you know what time it is, baby. Nerve Nation, baby. The flags are out. And, man, yesterday we cashed to win the video, went 1-1. Really wish that Yankees-Marlins one hit. Luis Ariz just did us dirty, man. 4th home run of the year. You just have to laugh sometimes. But going back to the scene of the crime, because we told you we'd be back on it. Yankees, Marlins, we're taking the no-run first inning, -120 on BetMGM. Now, the next best price, I believe, is DraftKings at -125. FanDuel got you at minus 142. Look, that's just criminal. We don't bet NRFIs at minus 142. We just can't do it. But like I said, we're going back to the scene of the crime, a pick we added in the pin comment. And if we ever do add a play, which is rare, it is normally in the pin comment. And obviously we'll tweet it out and send it to our Dub Club members and all of that. Yesterday didn't get it done. Sometimes the added plays hit. You know, it's always a game of cat and mouse. But let's talk about this one and why we're going back to it. And this might be the last time you see a NRFI for a hot minute because we were looking at the series coming up and there aren't a lot of good matchups. But Yuri Perez is scheduled to get it going for the Marlins, and he's been great on NRFIs. One of the best records we've seen, 11-1. Now, there's something at Perez. He's going to walk some guys, but sometimes when you're walking a guy like Aaron Judge, that's honestly not too bad. We'd rather walk him. I think Gleyber Torres has grounded into 2 double plays to end the first in back-to-back days. And the Yankees are 17th at first in your runs. They're going to score eventually here. This is a team, though, I'm comfortable fading. If you're asking guys like Gleyber Torres and Stan to get hits with runners in scoring position, tip your cap to him. I think Perez can come in here and get us those first 3 outs. I certainly think he's capable of doing that. Who's on the other side for the Yankees, Logan? I heard he's pretty decent.
Yeah, it's Yankees ace Garrett Cole, and hopefully Garrett Cole does not implode today. Garrett Cole 18-6 on NRFIs this year, so really solid numbers for him. He's facing a Marlins team that's 29th in first inning runs. It was so appropriate that we got hit by a Luis Ariz home run because you have a better shot at just making a it just feels like a lotto play whenever Luis Ariz hits a home run. But you know what? That's just tough. That's how it is sometimes. The over under to this game set to 7. Look, I mean, they're not expecting a whole lot of runs in this game. If we can keep them out of the first inning, that would be really cool. So go ahead, Yuri Perez and Garrett Cole. Do your jobs today in NRFI Nation. Let's fly the flags again.
Let's fly these flags, baby. We need to cash this one out, and then NRFIs we'll see when they return. But hopefully this one smacks. Hopefully we can have that 5-0 day that we technically had yesterday in the video and bring out the brooms real time this time. But we've been on a good run. Let us know your favorite picks down below. Appreciate you guys watching on Sunday, and we'll see you guys back in tomorrow on Monday, hopefully with the brooms out and hopefully continuing this 11-2 run we've been on. Go Trea Turner. We're rooting for you, man. We'll see you guys back in tomorrow. Peace.